Hello there everybody, welcome to your literacy task for Tuesday the 12th of January. Now our learning objective today is to use punctuation to aid expression, and we talked about expression yesterday in our learning video. So yesterday we learned some of our oracy skills. So learned about volume, pace, expression and body language when we're either performing or reading or speaking in front of people. Now remember, volume was how loud or quiet you're speaking. Pace is the speed that you're speaking at. Expression is adding in emotion to your speech. And body language is how you're standing, how you use your hands, how you're using your face as well. If you're smiling or if you're frowning, it all helps. So today we are going to look a little bit more at how we can use the clues in writing to tell us how things should be said. So we're going to be looking at how punctuation can help us with our expression. So there are clues in writing to tell us how the writer wants the words to be said. Look at the sentence below. How do you think the writer wants this line to be said, and how do you know? Tilly jumped high into the air. What gave that away? What gave me a clue in that sentence as to how to say it? Because I didn't say it with a sad tone. I didn't say it with an angry tone, but I did say it with quite an excited tone into my voice. Tilly jumped high into the air. That's right, Diane. We used the exclamation mark. Okay, the exclamation mark was the clue in that sentence. When we use an exclamation mark, something is usually very, very exciting or very, very loud. Okay, so the exclamation mark gave me the clue in that sentence for how to say it. Let's do another one together. Look at the sentence below, and how do you think the writer wants this line to be said? How do you know? The girl crept closer. As she did, her eyes began to widen. What clues in my writing gave that away, gave how the expression should have been used away? Now, this is something we haven't talked about before. These three little dots. This is called an ellipsis, okay? A dot, dot, dot. So an ellipsis is used to build suspense in writing, and it will usually be used when something a little bit scary is about to happen, when something is happening very slowly. And I hope you noticed that when I said that sentence, I used a lower tone in my voice and I slowed down my speech. So the ellipsis in that sentence is what gave me a clue to how I should use my expression. Let's do one more together. Look at the sentence below, and how do you think the writer wants this line to be said? All of a sudden there was a loud bang. What gave that one away? Have a little think, have a look at the words you can see there. Some of you might have spotted our exclamation mark. Because if there's an exclamation mark, something is either very, very exciting or very, very loud. And that bang was certainly loud. But there's something else special about that word bang. Diane, if you spotted it, all of those letters are in capital letters. And that told me as the reader that the writer wanted me to use expression on that word and say it very loudly. Okay? None of the other words in the sentence were in capital letters. So I knew as the reader to add extra expression on that word bang. Now, punctuation can help with our expression. The dot, 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 the ellipsis, creates suspense through a low and slow voice. An exclamation mark makes something very, very loud or very, very exciting. And capital letters tells the reader to use a big voice on those words only. So your task today is going to be adding punctuation to sentences to help the reader with their expression. We'll do a few together first to start. So this first sentence here, slowly the boy turned around. What could we add out of our ellipsis, our exclamation mark, or our capital letters to that sentence? What do you think would be suited there? Well, it said slowly the boy turned around, so perhaps a dot, 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 an ellipsis on this sentence would add suspense. What do you think the boy is turning around to? Crash went the plate as it fell to the floor. Well, firstly, we know on the end of that sentence, what do we need? A full stop. But then what about this word crash here? That word is the only word in the sentence that we need to say really loudly. So that word we could write in capital letters, couldn't we? Now Miss Marks is having to write on her mouse pad on her laptop, so it's not going to be as neat as when we're on the whiteboard. Crash went the plate as it fell to the floor. So we've added our ellipsis and we've added our capital letters to change how these two sentences are being said. Let's try for that last sentence. What an amazing concert that was. What could I add to make that sentence a little bit more exciting so that the reader knows to add some expression? Diane, if you've got it already, I could add an exclamation mark on the end, couldn't I? So rather than saying, what an amazing concert that was, the sentence turns into, what an amazing concert that was. We've added lots more expression and it's much more engaging for the listener. So your task today is to write out the sentences from the worksheet, adding in punctuation or capital letters to help the reader add expression. Remember, your dot, dot, dot ellipsis creates suspense through a slow, low voice. Your exclamation marks make something very, very loud or very, very exciting. And capital letters tells the reader to use a big voice only on those words. Good luck. I am very much looking forward to reading your sentences with your punctuation and adding in the expression you want me to. Hwyl fawr!